All right. Well, welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and Guest. This is episode number 112, I believe. Nope, 111. Episode 111. But it's a very special episode because today we are joined by two guests who are going to be here to try and convince us, well, at least one of them is, to convince us all to listen to the band Ghost. That would be Turd Ferguson. And Jeremiah is here as a point of reference. We'll also offer in his 2 cents. And as always, I'm that other dude, Andrew, joined by Heather.
Hello.
So today, the episode is titled Going Postal. And we're hopefully going to make some hard decisions about the band Ghost, whether or not it will be added to any of our playlists. And I'm looking forward to this because it's a throwback to A Fistful of Faithful, my previous show I used to do with my buddy. And unless anyone has anything else to say, I'll throw it over to our main man, Turd Ferguson, to tell us a little bit about Ghost and why we should be listening to it.
Well, first off, I got to make sure. Is my hair okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. But, well, the reason I feel like you guys especially should listen to them is because I feel like they would be down your wheelhouse. You know, early Sabbath vibes, maybe a little Deep Purple, you know, and then they get into their 80s. I call it butt rock, but, you know, it's like the hair metal stuff and whatnot. I was told, Andrew, that you like Sabbath, early Sabbath and stuff like that.
I do. And I in the songs you had suggested we listen to, I did listen to some of them previously. I thought we could play the sections that you provided now and listen to them, and then you could sort of give us your feedback as we listen to them. But yes, early Sabbath is definitely on my early and late. I don't necessarily differentiate so much, but yes, there were elements of that I liked when I heard Ghost.
Okay.
So the first, let's see. Okay. I thought I'd play the first 20 seconds of the song Faith, and then we could all put in our 2 cents.
Hold it a little closer.
Okay, so that's the first 25 seconds or so of Faith.
Yes.
And thoughts?
Yeah. Do you guys need towels to clean up your face from being melted, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh. You guys
Hey, it's got a really strong opening. I will give it that much.
Well, wait. What do you have against the whole song? You don't like the rest of it?
No, go ahead. Go pitch us.
No. I want to hear your thoughts here. Strong opening, but
It's got a strong opening, but Faith especially. Well, it's not just Faith. They're a little repetitive for me. I don't feel like lyrically they have enough progression through a lot of their songs, and it's the lyrics that always kind of draw it away from me. Anyway, I like their instrumentation is really good progressive wise, but I don't feel like the lyrics ever keep up with whatever they put out musically, with the instruments, you know. Faith is one of their early ones, isn't it?
Earlier, yeah.
Okay. Because, you know, their later stuff, especially off of, what was their latest album? Imperia? Was that it?
Yeah.
I feel like they made it's different than their earlier stuff.
Right.
At least from that perspective, anyway.
Well, I have to admit, I'm not a super fan, so I don't know the full backstory because yes, this band is very theatrical, which I love. I love theatrics when I go to a show, but they have a backstory apparently. Like all I know for certain is they were sent from either Italy or Sweden, where they're from the Church of Satan to spread the word of Satan essentially, and then it progresses the story, and I don't know that much more after that. But it's like each album has a different iteration of the lead singer. He's a different like pope or cardinal or whatnot. But with that, they change like their style, whether it goes from like straight up doom metal, like their first album, to way more poppy and hair metal-y. So as far as the lyrics go, I get what you're saying there too, because the majority of the music I love personally is music that has a message and actually has meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Like it impacts me when I hear it. Yeah. And this is a little different because I put it kind of in the same ballpark as like only thing that comes to mind, and I hate saying his name because I don't like to support him, but Marilyn Manson, to where it's more thought-provoking than anything, to where it could have multiple meanings, not necessarily just speaking about Satan. It could just be about individuality and stuff like that. So as far as faith lyrics go, it's more, nail on the head there with it's just about you worshiping Satan, essentially. Like he's got the faith. He wants all the faith and he's going to rise above God, essentially. So I could see where people might not lean towards that type of liking. But
a lot of their early stuff is kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Well, they had to come out and punch you in the face,
Yeah.
Get your
attention. I mean, hey, they've got a bit. They've got a thing that they're going for, especially. Right. Like, they do hit that on the head. I mean, like, they do a good job of doing it. So, I mean, credit where credit's due on that.
Right. Is it more, though, that you don't like the sound of his vocals?
No, that's... I didn't look up exactly because they've had multiple lead vocalists,
it's
right?
The same guy. Same guy.
Through all their albums?
Yep. He just wears a different prosthetic or mask.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. Same guy.
I don't know what, but especially their early stuff. Their early stuff has some... It's weird. I think I like...
Yep, you love
musically,
them.
I think I like their early stuff more than I like their later stuff. But lyrically, I think I like their later stuff more than I like their early stuff. Like, just how it progresses and whatnot. And it's weird because his lyrics are different. Him as, singer is a bit different with this music.
That's where the whole story comes into play. If I knew more about it, if I had time, I have a busy schedule, with all my acting and stuff like that. So it just finds hard time to do a lot of research. But yeah, I mean, it's really cool that they are that committed. To me, anyways. When someone is that committed, like I know it's completely different music and genres and messages, but it reminds me a lot of Rage Against the Machine, to where they're going to speak about hating the system, whether you like it or not, on every single album. And same with Ghost. They're going to pepper in Satan as much as they can.
Yeah.
While making great music. Right, Jeremiah?
We'll get there.
One of their next albums. Pepper in Satan.
Pepper what?
I said one of their next albums could be called Pepper in Satan.
I agree.
This song actually is I would have ranked the highest out of the 10 that you gave us.
Really?
I'd put this one at the top. I think the guitar riffs are awesome.
Amazing.
They are.
Yeah, like really, it's really riffy, and I like that.
And you'll
And it's
find with
more,
their music, it's not complicated. It's not
no,
like math metal, or you know what I mean. It's not people staring at their guitars to try to get it down real fast. It's
yeah,
but they're really, everything's catchy. That's, you know what I mean. It's really good riffs that are always going to be catchy. So,
yeah. So
and I usually don't fall for that. Are you guys trying to unconvince me? I don't know. It's Andrew, help me out.
Yeah, well, I didn't really necessarily care for the intro.
Okay.
It sounded a little bit like I was under the big top at a circus, but
Okay.
I really liked the riff. So
Once we get into it,
yeah, just based on what we heard, I dug the riff. So I'm certainly in their camp in terms of the musicianship so far. I don't really pay as much. I'm not necessarily a lyrics guy as often. That tends to be secondary for me. So I didn't really spend that much time listening to the lyrics. The guy can certainly sing well,
right.
and most of the riffs were good. So I would say Faith. I would put that on my playlist. If I had a gun to my head and I had to make a playlist.
Whoa.
Or okay, maybe that's a little too far.
You mean when you're just sitting there, relaxed? Great music. It's on there.
It might see that, like, as of right now, it's on the fence with Faith. There of the 5 songs we're going to listen to, there is definitely one that I really liked that probably will be on my playlist, but we haven't gotten to that yet.
I hope it's my favorite.
I think it might be, just based on what Heather might have said earlier. So next up, I have Mary on the Cross.
Oh, yes. Very popular amongst the ladies, by the way. except for Heather.
yes.
Okay, so that's a section of Mary on the Cross. I got to tell you, if I was trying to woo a lady, perhaps, I might stand there like Cusack holding the boombox with that on it.
Yep.
But I'm past that part of my life, so.
Well, that's unfortunate. It's never too late, Andrew.
Thank you. That's not something I would listen to of my own. Like, if that was on the radio, I'd probably search for something else. Definitely good music, and you're right when you said that they incorporated elements of like 80s hair metal, because that's certainly what that reminded me of.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into that, then this is great. Like Martin on our show loved Poison, so that would have been right up his alley.
Yeah, this is where the lyrics lost me.
Yeah.
You don't like.
I honestly didn't get this song at all. And one of the lyrics is, "I will tickle you internally."
Yes, that's the best part. I was trying to find that.
What in the hell?
Yeah. And he doesn't see anything wrong with that. And that's what he says next.
Wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like the lyrics to me, like some of these songs I think I would have liked more if I didn't listen to the lyrics.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Heather. The lyric is, "I want to tickle you internally."
Yes.
I like the song better now, knowing that.
And you know what the song's actually about that I found?
I mean, if it's based off of that lyric, then yes, I have a pretty good idea.
Well, you would think that, and you can take it like that. This is why I like this song, because you could take it as they're talking about either or Satan or a demon or devil or whatever have you seducing a lady and saying, hey, you can come with me and this is what's going to happen.
Right.
Or you can, what it's actually about, it's about a marijuana cross.
Huh.
Yeah. It's about weed and him using.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
that's
get
what
that
I
at
found
all.
out. Did my research.
You did your research. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Unless
I
these
didn't get
ghost
that.
fans are lying to
I
me.
didn't get that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you re-listen to it, you can see it. Like he's saying
Okay.
how he's taking this weed with him everywhere he goes, and they've gone through all these experiences together, and he's saying that it goes down just like Holy Mary, the weed, and it's not just another Bloody Mary, like a drink, and then it'll tickle you internally. Whatever.
Oh,
That's just, you see what I'm saying?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well all right, well that changes my perspective a little bit, but still,
And that's the main reason I like this song, because you can look at it both ways. Like, oh, he's
Some of the interpretations are a little more clear too. I watched the music video for this one specifically and some of the others, and that does convey the messaging a little bit differently in that it could mean multiple things rather than just what you get on the face value listening to it.
right. And I think he also does the little finger gesture too.
Yeah.
So he could confuse you there. Yeah.
This is great. I feel like I'm part of a lecture series at the university learning about literature analysis.
Oh.
You know, like that Animal Farm is about the Russian Revolution. I'm learning that, Mary on the Cross is not just about Satan having sex with somebody.
Right. It's about a marijuana cross. Because I guess supposedly the lead singer, I don't know him that well. I mean, we text on occasion, but whatever. That he had a weed addiction, if that's possible. But
I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he wrote a song about it. That's what I heard. And that was that.
You're slowly convincing me to listen, to actually add more of these songs. I wouldn't have had Mary on the Cross in my playlist, but now that there's much more depth to it.
Yeah. See, Jeremiah? So negative all the
So
time.
it actually,
I'm not negative. There's songs on here that I really like, so hey.
I know. Music is subjective. That's what I love about it. That's what I love.
More depth, because I'm glad you pointed that out, that it has more depth, because I'm finding these songs, I'm finding the lyrics to be just really simple, basic.
Yeah.
And they are. He definitely has a formula to the way that he writes his songs. But I think it's one of those proven that it works, so why switch it up? Or that's just the way he likes to write, I don't know.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I get it when people say they don't like it. I get it, because I was on the fence for the longest time about certain stuff. Yeah. Maybe it's just because I listened to it so much that it seeped into my brain. And I am now a fan, if you can't tell.
Could be. Well,
just a little bit.
There we go.
Next up, I got Square Hammer.
Okay. Interested to hear what you think about this one.
I had Square Hammer.
By the way, can you hear my dog whining?
No.
Is he not a big fan of Ghost?
Oh, he's the biggest. He's the one that convinced me to like him. But
listen,
he's trying to get a toy that's under the couch. What's that?
I was imagining him telling you that Mary on the Cross is about marijuana. Okay. Okay, so that was part of Square Hammer. and it sounded like a European '80s metal band, like Accept, or who was the band that played Final Countdown from Rocky IV? Europe.
Yeah.
You know, and I would listen to that, but I don't think I would listen to it on repeat. Like, I don't think that would be in my playlist. You know, I would say so far of the three we've listened to, Faith had the best riff that I would probably come back to more often. The fact that Mary on the Cross is about weed, like, just perked my interest, but I don't know how often I would actually listen to the song. And Square Hammer, again, like, the novelty of listening to a band like Accept, you know, I would have like Balls to the Wall, and then I'd listen to Square Hammer, and then I'd throw on the Final Countdown or something like that.
Gotcha.
But that's not to say that I'm still not willing to listen to the band. You know, you've only in these past 25 minutes have you proven to me that I should give them a chance to see what else is there. Like,
and that's all I'm trying to do.
And
that's
you've won, because I'm not going to be closed-minded. I may not listen to them regularly, but I certainly won't be closed-minded about what they're offering.
Like the other two. Looking at you, Heather. Looking at you.
I just thought this song was okay. I thought it got better towards the end, because that, you know, that's when the guitar kind of kicks in more, and so I to me it was just a little too like sing-songy for me, you know. I don't like the pop. I guess I'm just not a big fan of pop rock. So,
you know, I'm not either.
Yeah, I like it's just not my taste. That's
right.
all.
Right.
Yeah.
And I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also, not to jump in here, but winning me over is a lot easier of a task. Like, if you're going to win Heather over, the music needs to be phenomenal. Like, she's not going to waste her time listening to stuff that she finds subpar, because she's got like 1,000 vinyl records. Like, there's just so much to choose from and so little time. You know, I have a little bit more free time, so I can afford to, you know, listen to Mary on the Cross and decipher whether or not it's about. You know what it reminds me of, that lyric? There's a movie with Michael Cera. Why am I blanking on it? Where he creates a fictional persona who's going to be more cool, named Francois. And Francois tells this girl, "I want to tickle your belly button from the inside." And that's what the line reminded me of.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm blanking on the movie as well.
Yeah, it's with Nick Twist, but that's the character's name. It doesn't matter. But
it's not Scott Pilgrim, is it?
No, it's not Scott Pilgrim.
No.
I can look it up because it will bother.
What do you think, Jeremiah, of this song?
I'm pretty much in agreement with everybody else. It's one of those songs where if it was on the radio, I would definitely sit there and listen to it, rock out to it, you know, but I would never probably put it on a playlist to listen to intentionally, you know. It's not one of the songs I would turn off if I happen to be hearing it, you know. This is one that I wanted to point out, though, and I think I recommend you guys go watch the music video, too. Right. I was actually a super fan of this music video, and I have an appreciation for the style they chose to do it in, and the perspective. It's like a weird, like, 50s throwback with, like, weird perspective tricks, and I don't know. I like the artistic creative medium of the music video that is kind of, like, lost nowadays, I feel like. And this one definitely really, like, hits home in them displaying some real creative prowess in how they did the video. I mean, say what you will about the music itself, but I had an appreciation for the video after I found out, after I listened to it the first time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, their videos are really well done.
Yeah, I was gonna say I almost like listening to them via their music videos more than I like just listening to the song raw. I don't know what it is about their the visuals they add to it kind of add something. And like you said, they are very performative in their music, Dustin. So yeah, and that very much comes across in the videos, I think.
And I think it's hard for anyone to listen to only like 20 seconds of a song and say whether they like it. And why it was hard for me to choose which 20 seconds is because all of their songs, it seems like, builds up and then switches up,
Right.
you know, and I like both parts of when they switch up and before, you know, so I was like, I didn't know what to pick when it came to the sample size. But
Yeah.
all
Well,
the songs seem to like build, like especially that Cerise song. It's like I would have done the entire first 3 minutes to where it's like slow build up, and then it gets to the main riff, and then it hits you with the lyrics, you know. And then I love every single guitar solo that they've ever done in any of their songs. I love, even if it's just a short one, you know. But that's just me.
Well, I think we all listened to all of the songs in their entirety separately. This was just sort of to give the
Right.
viewer a taste. Speaking of which, you had mentioned Cerise. That was that's the next song I have. That's my favorite song. Is that also your favorite song?
Close to one of my favorites.
Close to one.
It's definitely a top fiver. That's for
okay.
sure.
Yeah, that was the one where I was listening to it and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't going to be so one-sided because I'm digging this song. By the way, Youth and Revolt was the name of the movie I was thinking of.
Huh.
Youth and Revolt.
Youth and Revolt.
That's right. Because doesn't he even have like a little cheesy mustache too when he's
He
Francois?
does.
Yeah,
He does
yeah.
as Francois. Let me just find Cerise. That was the one where I was like, oh, maybe this is, maybe this is playing much more to the Sabbath side.
Absolutely. Yeah,
of,
this one
I can
reminds
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And a little side note also, whenever they perform the song live, he does like single out a lady that he sings to, like the boy in the music video where he's trying to seduce them.
a lot of seduction themes.
But that's what Lucifer is all about, you know.
I guess it's been a while. Okay, yeah, that was of the songs you had suggested we listen to. That was my favorite. That had that was most similar to something that I would be listening to of my own choosing.
Okay.
So, more songs from their catalog like that, I would definitely put on my playlist.
A lot of their earlier stuff.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a fan as they go sort of more poppy and more 80s.
Right. They seem to, once they evolved, I guess, they definitely put a lot more pop into their
It's not bad.
No.
By any stretch, but it's just not something I would want to listen to.
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. This song was my favorite for the longest time. But after hours and hours upon listening and deciding whether I like the band as a whole, I found another song. I think it's on that list. And I know for a fact none of you are going to like it, but I just wanted to hear it on this podcast. So. This song was amazing to me. Like even the breakdown to where it's just him seducing, you know, I was just like, this is cool. and I thought it was very well done, and I liked the organ and the synth and everything incorporated into the solo. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I have this one number 2 on my list. Faith 1, this one number 2. I thought the build up on this song was really good, and
right.
I like the lyrics in this song a lot more than I like in the other songs. So I thought this song was really well done.
So safe to say that you were seduced. Is that what you're saying, Heather?
It takes a little bit more than that.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to try harder then.
What do you think, Jeremiah?
And I'm pretty much with everybody here. This is one of, I wouldn't put it number 3 maybe for me, but I definitely like it. One of the best of their early works. Again, I like a lot of their instrumentation on their early stuff, and like I said, this is very much hitting like peak early stuff for me on this one.
All right. Well, we got one last track that you gave me codes for. That's He Is. Is that the song?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What's the problem?
All right. So that was a chunk of He Is.
Enough, dog.
And
sorry.
That's your favorite, the favorite of the tracks?
That is, oddly enough. Yeah.
Interesting.
It sounds very churchy.
The one note I made was church.
Yeah.
Well,
and
me
that's
too.
why I love the juxtaposition of it. Is that sound you? If you weren't listening to the lyrics, you would think you were hearing a worship song, like just a normal worship song. But I just love the dichotomy of it, and the video, like Jeremiah said, it definitely sold me even more. But I love, this is another one where it builds up, and I love it. Like it starts out with just the dueling guitars, and then it brings in the.
I'm sorry, I can hear your dog now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Can I stop and go get whatever he's whining about real quick?
Yeah, of course.
All right. What's your problem? What are you trying to get here?
He's got that cute little whine going on too.
Yeah.
Well, it's like as Dustin was trying to explain something really powerful about the song, I could just hear.
Someone clearly jealous off screen there.
Oh, wonderful. Are you kidding me? You knocked it back under the couch.
Oh.
How about that? All right. Now Gumbo is happy.
All right.
Good.
All right. What were we talking about? He is?
He
We
is.
were talking about the dichotomy.
Oh, yeah. And the build up of it is what I was talking about. and then it eventually, and even when he's saying he is, it builds even more and more and more. And I don't know. It reminds me a lot of Stairway to Heaven almost. Not that great of a song, obviously, but to where it's slow and then builds and builds, and then it's there, then it comes back down a little bit. And that's what I love about it. That's why it's my favorite.
Gotcha.
Heather,
Yeah,
you love
it definitely reminded me of a gospel song, and
right.
and the songs that are sung in church.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely reminded me of that. So,
And you love
no, I don't love it.
I was going to say, I spent way too much of my childhood in a church, and I'm like, the first couple minute of the song, I was like, PTSD flashbacks, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
It's like,
see,
well, see, that's
it's
a
like,
great song. If it hits you and it brings back all those memories.
I mean, credit where credit's due. They do a good job of making it a gospel song. It is a song from a church. I get it. But it's it's very much not for me. And even putting aside the fact I've spent too much time in a church, an actual church, I'm like, I don't think this one would be something I would want to listen to just casually strolling down, the road or something, just driving somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, it's on my workout list. When I'm working. Gets me psyched up.
I mean, I kind of like.
It's like praise. He is.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to give credit because you're right. I watched the music video for this one as well, and I kind of like the video. It's all right, but again, it's not too much of a fan of a song, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. I get
this
it.
one also had a bit of a progressive rock feel. Aside from the fact that it did sound very much like a gospel song, I felt like there was some King Crimson type vibes in there. Again, I think what's interesting is they're doing a lot of stuff that I really like and would listen to. I think some of their earlier stuff I would probably have on a playlist, but I'm not so much sold on the later tracks outside of being curious about when you explained what Mary on the Cross was actually about. It was like, oh, well, maybe I should go back and listen to that to see if I can hear what he's talking about. But outside of that, I don't think I would listen to it just to listen to the song.
You'd be surprised. You start listening to it more than once. Belting it in your car.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds like, and I don't want to speak for anyone, but it sounds like of trying to pitch this to convince people, I'm still open to exploring what Ghost may have to offer. Heather and Jeremiah may have decided to close that door.
Yeah, they closed it a while ago, I think.
No.
I think Jeremiah is right about the video. I think it's a good idea to watch, not just listen to their music, but to watch the videos, because the production quality of their videos is outstanding. And I can imagine that they are really good live and that they put on a really good show. And they definitely have that theatrical part that's fun to watch down. So I think in convincing someone, to go and listen to their music, I think watching the videos would be a really good place to start. So
yeah, and that's unfortunate too, because a band shouldn't have to rely on a music video for someone to like it. But I mean, I get it.
I'm definitely not closed on them either. I especially have a deeper appreciation having watched the videos. I am a growing fan. I see what you mean about the more you listen to them, and having watched the videos, there's a couple of songs that I first listen, I was kind of like, but I don't know. I have an appreciation of the production quality they put into it. It adds, like you said, for Mary on the Cross, watching the video of it, it adds that extra layer that's kind of missing that you don't get necessarily listening to the song itself.
Yeah.
And they got some rabid fans too. Like it's
Oh.
insane.
Yeah.
They
Do you
remind me.
know?
Go on, Heather.
Do you know why they went from Ghost to Ghost BC? Do you know what the story is
I
on
do.
that?
Yeah. Well, when Ghost first started, like the earlier albums, it was their lead singer and a bunch other band members. Well, he got rid of those band members, and now he just essentially hires musicians and they play live with them. Like I know,
Oh.
for example, the guitarist from Ugly Kid Joe was one of the guitarists. That's why they're called the Nameless Ghouls. But I'm sure there's some that he keeps around all the time. But anyways, the reason they went to Ghost BC was because there was a lawsuit. They were trying to, the previous band members were trying to say that the lead singer was withholding funds and stuff from them. And he won, actually. The lead singer won in the lawsuit. So whatever was discovered or whatever, they didn't think that the other band members were right. But they had made an album when this lawsuit was going on, and they had to change it to Ghost BC since it wasn't finalized yet.
Gotcha.
Then they went back to Ghost after it was taken care of.
Ah.
Reminds me a little bit of King Diamond, just in terms of the theatrics and the makeup and stuff like that. So I think you're right, there shouldn't necessarily need to be a visual component to it, but I think it definitely lends a depth, what being able to sort of participate visually in what's happening.
Yeah,
plus it messes with your head too, because they're from Sweden, which there's a lot of phenomenal bands that come out of Sweden. And then the way that they paint their face and dress and everything, you think just by looking at them that it's like a death metal band.
Right.
And then you listen to it and it's like, okay, the guitars are pretty awesome, but then the vocals come in and you're like, what the hell is this?
Right. Yeah.
It's really hard.
Look at Iron Maiden though. You know,
what's that?
Look at Iron Maiden. They got heavy guitars and Bruce Dickinson. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
My agent. I forgot I'm not supposed to think. But
so I don't know. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around the whole thing of what they're doing. You know.
Right. I think they got to a lab and figured out, okay, this is the best way to make a good song. And to them, that it's work for them.
And like what you said, to try to reach the most people, they came up with this formula, and it's working. So
very well, apparently.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't know how many of us are going to be wearing Ghost shirts.
You know what? I got you one, Andrew, and I'll send it to you. Thank
you. Well, I think all of us have learned something new about the music today. Some of us may give it more credence, others of us may not, but I think you've succeeded at least in whatever it is you were trying to do today.
Well, what I was trying to do was to at least open some minds. You know, you can do a lot of different things to look at the band and be like, nah, it's not for me. You know, their look, nah, not for me. I usually don't go for, Kiss people, you know what I mean, that paint their faces and whatnot. Dimmu Borgir or whatever they're called, that metal band. It's usually not my cup of tea. But I think that if you give them a listen and you decide you don't like them, I just want people to listen to them. Whether or not you like it, that's up to you. You know, I'm not going to say you're a terrible person unless you're Jeremiah if you don't like it. But just kidding, Jeremiah. But I don't know. I just, when I find out something that I like musically, I like to share it with people. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. But at least they give it a listen,
That's kind of the whole premise of our show.
Oh, really?
You found the right forum.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I don't know
Hopefully,
how many of your fans are going to like it. It's probably way too poppy if they like the stuff Heather likes.
we'll see. I mean, we try to just shine a light on usually bands who aren't as well known.
Oh yeah, these guys. Yeah,
But
failed you there.
also, if we can introduce somebody to a new band, then that's a win.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got some other bands too that
yeah,
aren't as popular as
we
Ghost.
can. Well, this can be the first of many occasions in which we revisit this formula of trying to convince us to give bands a listen.
Awesome.
I'm
yeah.
open. I'm open to listening to anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah.
Cool.
I love music. I just love music, period. So.
Same, exactly. So that's why I like finding new bands too. And that's like when Heather let me listen to a couple of bands. I was really digging them. Cool. I can't remember the name of them, but it had something to do with a veil. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh. Yeah, that was that that was like one of that's one you said your son really liked too.
Oh yeah, he
right?
loves it.
Like he liked the vocals on it.
Yeah.
Hail the Void.
Hail the Void. Yeah. Yeah, I really dug those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, and see, that's usually not my cup of tea. You know.
Yeah.
My favorite band is Pearl Jam of all things. So yeah, I like a lot of different types of music.
Gotcha. So. Well, this, I mean, I think we could definitely revisit this again. And
okay.
Whether or not Ghost ends up in my playlist, at least I will go back and re-listen to some of them.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all I ask.
Yes, you've opened my mind.
Then my job is done here.
Yes.
You did a good job.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Andrew.
Yes, likewise. Well done. Great meeting both of you.
Yeah, thank you for letting us come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
You as well.
We will see you around.
All right, I'll see Heather and Jeremiah on Monday.
Take care.
Yay. Hey.
Excitement. All right.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.